I'd like to call the meeting to order. Misty, would you call the roll, please?
Dave Burris.
Here.
Randy Graham.
Here.
J.R. Huddleston.
Here.
Deborah Johnston.
Here.
Bill Lukens.
Here.
Craig Romy.
Present.
Gary Telchamp.
Here.
Linda Varvel.
Here.
Thank you.
Would you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And our standing order, council. Remember, if you have a conflict of interest, please let the rest of the council know before you vote on that particular agenda item. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
Make a motion to approve the agenda as written.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from the December 1st council meeting?
Make a motion to approve the agenda from the December 1st council meeting.
Second.
The agenda or the minutes?
Yeah, the minutes.
I'll still second it.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. Then can I get a motion to approve the minutes from the December 12th
Make a
special
motion to
council
approve the
meeting?
minutes of the December 12th special council meeting.
Second.
Had to get one right.
Discussion?
I'd like to make an amendment to those minutes, adding city employee officer Matthew Maxfield was in attendance.
Noted. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Anyone else? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? The motion passes. Can I get a motion to approve the bills in between?
Make a motion to approve bills in between for $361,291.18.
Second.
Dave got him. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. And a motion to approve the current claims.
I'll make a motion to approve the current claims for $93,268.28.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. Communications from the public. Is there anyone that would like to address the council tonight?
Thank you. I would like to address the council tonight. I'm Robert Paul, 1327 Schofield Street. I've got a comment and a question. Comment first is I would like to thank each and every one of you again for the special meeting on Friday the 12th. I thought it was a great service for the community to be able to have a public hearing concerning something as important as the wastewater plant. I've got a regret to say I didn't stay for the entire meeting, and the portion of the meeting I did stay for, I wanted to comment on how well behaved and how smoothly everything ran. After I left, I can't comment. My question is this. On the agenda tonight is a 35-cent an hour COLA raise for all full-time employees. And if I can, I'd like to direct my question to Misty for just a moment. Would you have any idea how much a raise like that affects the other built-in things, the insurance and so forth and so on, percentage-wise?
If you ask me specifically what the increase will be for like workers' comp insurance, that's depending on the rate. There's about 12 different workers' comp rates, depending. If you're asking like for payroll taxes, that's 7.65%. So you can take an hourly a full-time employee, which is $2,080, take the 35 cents and then times it by that. I can tell you that we budgeted for 75 cents, but we follow what the state gives that we're required to give to part-time employees. So that's where we landed, was 35, but it is
I guess what I was
budgeted.
wondering was how that affects like health hospitalization insurance, workman's comp, retirement, and
Yep.
so forth and so on. I mean,
Your wage doesn't affect your health insurance, so that's a rate that we're all charged regardless of our age. But then all the other things, it's a percentage. So the city matches 6% for retirement for regular employees, 8% for police department, law enforcement employees. So you can take that raise amount by the full-time employees and calculate that
Okay.
percentage. But I can tell you we budgeted for it and a little bit more, so,
okay, all right, thank you.
yeah, thank you.
And thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you.
Anyone else? All right, let's move on to our council updates. Gabby Martin, Recreation Director, Annual Recreation Report.
Hello, everyone.
How we doing?
Who do you have with you tonight?
Gabby Martin, Recreation Director for the City of Hot Springs.
Yeah, but who do you have with you tonight?
Oh, that's my daughter Violet.
Hello,
That's the
Violet.
boss.
She is the boss.
Thanks for coming.
So, annual update, the past year, we tried to expand programming, listening to what others with families and adults wanting programming wanted in our community. We added girls softball. We had good turnout. I expect it to be a larger turnout this year. Everyone had really positive feedback. We added, to summer rec, we added a clay class, working with clay. We added a watercolor class. It was the largest program list since I've been the director, and we had a good time. It was a very busy summer. We maxed out, just about maxed out on all of our programs for the ones that had limitation sizes, just because you can only have so many kids in a class. So I'm hoping that in February is when I reach out to all the instructors to see what their schedules are like, if doing it again the following year will work for them. So I'm hoping that it's a yes from everyone, and we'll continue to do that, and maybe add some other stuff. We added this winter volleyball. We had someone who really felt we needed to have volleyball for adults. We had some old nets in the storage room. We had to do a little maintenance to them to get them going. We have 8 people participating so far. The other ones who said they wanted to participate really wanted to do it like a league. We're not really set up to do league things, but I told them I would try and come up creatively a way to do teams and register teams. It would mean I have to buy some more poles and do some more supplementing to the volleyball, and so I have to look to see how much that will cost and if it's worthwhile, if we have enough participation. Well, that's what I'm currently working on.
Is there a top out on age on any of those participations?
So roller skating is for all ages. Anyone can register and come join us. I allow people to come, sign a release, see if we have skates that fit them well, see if they have a good time. If they do, they can skate for free once, try it out. If they like it, they can register, pay, and come continue to skate with us. If it's an adult program, it's 18 and over, so there's volleyball and pickleball for adults the months of November through February. And the youth programs, you know, everything else is a youth program.
Right.
Yeah.
I was asked if you're going to continue the Mommy and Me swim lessons.
I'm not sure. That's always if we can get an instructor to do that. Our swim instructors are also swim team. Taya, who did it for us last year, she's in college. And Allison works and has children, and she's the swim instructor for the team. So she's busy till 7 o'clock, Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And then she swim meets on the weekends. My kids are on the swim team, so I do know that I can see how busy she is. But if anybody wanted to, I would definitely offer it. Yeah,
Is the online registration working well?
I think so.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Fabulous. We love it at City Hall. The reporting is easy, it comes right into our account. Gabby does a great job making sure everyone who's applying is taken care of. We don't have any of the paperwork we love it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, I do too. A lot less hours towards paperwork. Yeah. I think, I've had very few, I think, over the total of the years that we've been doing it now, I think I've had a total of 5 complaints over registering online. And, if somebody can't because it's just not their thing, I'll tell them show up for the program, or I'll meet you at the library. We can do it together on my computer. So sometimes I register people through my computer, and I make them read and check the release in there. That's the only part they have to do. But yeah.
Well, Hot Springs is so lucky to have this program. Yeah. It's really impressive.
Be a part of it.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
I would like to make a comment, not to you.
Okay.
You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
I'd like to thank the people that came to our council meeting tonight. It looks great to have this many people. I'd like to see more, but it looks a lot better than it has in years. Thank you.
Anyone else? So I wanted to thank you for growing the program, especially into the winter months.
Thank you.
I know the community appreciates that. So thank you for doing that. And I would agree. The question I wrote down as you were talking was the online. So thank you, Deborah, for asking that, how well that's been working. And from Misty's enthusiastic response, it's working well. So thank you for putting that together.
Thank you.
All right.
Merry Christmas.
How'd your mom do?
Have a good night.
Did your mom do okay? All right.
It was quick and now you can go.
Do you have anything you'd like to say, young lady?
Don't think so.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gabby.
All right, our next is Hot Springs Chamber of Commerce quarterly update. Got a tough act to follow.
Good evening. All right. So, some of you know Amber Sierra is not able to be here this evening.
Please be closer to the mic. We can't hear you.
You kind of have to rock star, yeah.
Okay,
That's
right.
better.
He told me. We really do have to rock star it. Okay.
We like to tell people, use your outdoor voice
You're right.
when they come to the mic.
All right, let's do that, shall we? Okay.
There
that's
you
a
go.
little bit better. Okay. Yes, unfortunately, Amber Sierra is not able to be here with us this evening due to a death in her family, unfortunately. So she will be. So you get me and Virginia. I am Sarah Dalton Teisch, and I am the executive assistant and the media coordinator. And Virginia is our pretty much jack of all trades, pretty much, for the short hours that she's with us in the morning. But anyway, to get started, executive summary is the Chamber of Commerce continues to see strong momentum through increased business participation and community engagement. Fall and early winter events drew consistent and, in several cases, growing attendance for each event. Our signature fall events provided meaningful opportunities for promotion, celebration, and economic impact. In 2025, the Chamber Bucks program remained a powerful tool for keeping dollars local, with over $20,000 sold and thousands reinvested into the community through contests and charitable efforts. As we move forward into 2026, excitement is building around upcoming events and new advertising opportunities, including the Southern Hills Vacation Guide. Some of our recent events and programs include the Oktoberfest, which was October 5th of this year. The Chamber of Commerce, in partnership with the Dragonfly, hosted the 4th annual Oktoberfest on October 5th. The event was sponsored by the Dragonfly and drew approximately 60 to 70 participants, give or take, consistent with attendance from the previous years. Festivities included live music, dancing, and an interactive contest. Several prizes were awarded, including commemorative steins generously donated by Brighton Octagon. And the event continues to be a well-received fall tradition that supports community engagement and member visibility. And then we had the 33rd Annual Agricultural Banquet, which was on October 11th. The 33rd Annual Agricultural Banquet was held at Red Rock River Resort on October 11th. The evening featured a prime rib dinner with a chicken entree option created by Red Rock River Resort, along with live music by Brett Morris and a cash bar available throughout the evening, and strong support from 22 event sponsors. The banquet welcomed approximately 147 attendees and served as a meaningful opportunity to celebrate and recognize the contributions of the local agricultural community. And then after that, we had the Merchants Trick or Treat, which was, of course, on October 31, Halloween. And we hosted the annual Merchants Trick or Treat on Halloween. This year, we had 53 member businesses participate.
Wow.
Which is a record. It was even more than last year, which was a record. So we're very grateful for that. And we're guessing about 350 community members came through. Halloween-themed photo booth was set up in the Visitor Depot Center, allowing families to capture their festive photos. And this event continues to be a successful way to connect families with local businesses while creating a fun, welcoming, and safe community experience. I'm going to hand it over to Virginia. She's going to tell you about the last few events.
This back up here. Okay. Forgive me, I'm at the age where I have to take my glasses off to read. I'm going to start off with the cookie cruise. It was held on December 5th from 4 to 6. We had voting open until 9. We had approximately 300 participants who took part in the event with 16 participating businesses. Our agricultural seminar was held on November 6th here at the Chamber. We hosted the informal seminar, which focused on tax law changes and the potential benefits, risks, impacts on the agricultural community. The seminar provided a valuable insight and practical guidance to producers and ag-related businesses, reinforcing the Chamber's commitment to education, advocacy, and support for the local agricultural sector. Our Chamber Bucks program during 2025 has sold over $20,000 in Chamber Bucks. In addition, thousands of dollars of Chamber Bucks were donated in support Chamber-led contests and other worthy causes throughout the community. The program continues to be a valuable tool for keeping dollars local and supporting member businesses. Overall trends and outlooks. Overall, the Chamber has seen an increase from 2024 in both business participation and in community engagement across events, programs, reflecting continued community support and interest. We are currently approaching deadlines for the Southern Hills Vacation Guide, along with additional advertising opportunities available to our members. The new advertisements are shaping up well, and we are looking forward to continued momentum and growth as we head into 2026. Some of our upcoming events is the Santa Hat Shopping Spree that will be held December 20th from 11 to 4 p.m. We are up 1/3 in our business participation from last year. Restaurant Week is something new that we're looking forward to holding in January, similar to Custer's A Taste of Custer. We're trying to promote our restaurants starting in January. Business bingo is a repeat from last year, and we had a lot of fun with that. We hope to have as many, if not more, participating businesses. That will be held the end of January, beginning on the 30th and continuing through the 23rd. And I do need to back up because I forgot to mention Restaurant Week dates, and that was January 18th through the 24th. Our next Chamber Agricultural Seminar is scheduled for January 12th at 6 p.m., and it is focusing on estate planning and its importance for agricultural families and businesses. If you guys have any questions, I'm willing to answer them.
A lot of well-attended events. You guys have been very busy. Some of these numbers are astounding for participation and growing. That's fantastic.
We're having a little difficulty with some businesses responding via email. We're not sure if that's just because that's not something that they can look at or whatever, but so we try to follow up, and Virginia's been doing an excellent job with that and contacting the businesses directly and ensure that they want to participate or not participate. And that's really made an impact as far as our
Awesome.
I just want to say that I think we have a really good group at the Chamber. We all work great. Sarah is our creative guru. Everything, I could give her a crayon and she'll turn out a masterpiece. But we are working hard to make sure that we get community participation and involvement. And thank you guys so much for giving us the opportunity to present our report to you.
Thank you.
Council, anything? I do have a question for you. You were talking about increased community involvement. You're seeing that. Do you have any sense of why that might be? Is it, some of the outreach that you've been doing or some of the things you've been putting together that the community is responding to?
Well, the events that we have been holding, such as the Merchant Trick or Treat, we had more community involvement from businesses wanting to participate in the event, which tends to draw more community downtown to want to participate. I think we saw an average of at least 350 to 400 trick-or-treaters this year. A lot of places had a minimum of like 400 to 500 pieces of candy, and they all ran out. So I think it was a good turnout. The new community involvement, like Restaurant Week, is a new event that we're doing, and hoping to draw people from outside of the community into the community, but also get the community out and trying something new. Maybe not participate going to your favorite restaurant this week, but try a different one. I'm guilty of that, that's why I said that.
And we didn't run out of candy. We were prepared.
The other thing that I was going to say too is I think a lot of it has to do with trying to market it a little bit better as far as like making sure things are posted on Facebook, on our website, and just posters throughout town, and just making sure that we try to focus on the fun aspect of the event. And I think that helps encourage the community to want to come out and participate, especially when, there's been other events and word of mouth kind of goes around that, hey, the chamber's doing this or whatever. It makes it a little bit easier to get people to want to come and be involved. So, we hope anyway.
Well, thank you. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
On to personnel. Can I get a motion to approve personnel actions A through H?
I make a motion to approve personnel actions A through H.
Second.
Discussion?
Why do we have some of these dating clear back to April?
I did an exercise going through when I was preparing our salary and wage resolutions for next year, and I asked the department head of the plunge for several of these names that we haven't seen. Sometimes she hopes they'll come back, so she's not ready to let them go. So they just never did come back this year, and we need to, for our insurers' purposes, have it all documented. So we're just kind of playing catch up.
Okay.
Good question, great catch, glad to know you're looking at those.
Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. On to our first ordinance of the evening, can I get a motion to approve the second reading of ordinance 1279?
Make a motion to approve the second reading of ordinance 1279, supplemental appropriation ordinance.
Second.
If you don't ask any questions.
Did you get Linda?
I did.
Thank you. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Misty, for smiling. Need a roll call vote, please.
Deborah Johnston,
Yes.
Dave Burris,
Yes.
Randy Graham,
Yes.
Linda Varvel,
Yes.
Bill Lukens,
Yes.
J.R. Huddleston,
Yes.
Gary Telkamp,
Yes.
Craig Romy.
Yes.
Thank you.
The motion passes. So, JR, remember, you're supposed to keep me in line on this?
Roll call.
All right. Our second ordinance, can I get a motion to approve the second reading of ordinance 1280?
I'll make a motion to approve the second reading ordinance 1280, revising the Title 11 Business Regulations, Chapter 111 Alcohol Beverages, adding 111.11 additional license fee for video lottery machines on licensed premises.
Second.
Discussion?
Roll call, Bob.
Misty, would you call the roll, please?
Craig Romy,
Yes.
Randy Graham,
Yes.
J.R. Huddleston.
Yes.
Linda Varvel.
Yes.
Gary Telkamp.
Yes.
Bill Lukens.
Yes.
Deborah Johnston.
Yes.
Dave Burris.
Yes.
Thank you.
The motion passes. Under our resolution, can I get a motion to approve Resolution 2025-32?
Make a motion to approve Resolution 2025-32, contingency transfer resolution.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. On to our new business. Can I get a motion to approve new business item A? Approve of personnel policy revisions to be effective January 1st, 2026.
Make a motion to approve personnel policy revisions to be effective January 1st, 2026. Changes to Section 2.16.2, Weapons Prohibited, Section 6.7.6, Receipts Required for Reimbursement, 7.11, Administrative Leave, 7.12, Weather Days and Inclement Weather.
Second.
Discussion? Gary and JR, I believe this went through Admin Finance.
Yes, sir.
Any comments?
Nothing, sir. I have nothing. You have a comment for, okay.
Admin Finance recommending the changes?
No, sir.
You're not recommending the changes?
Yes, we are. I mean, that's why I read that for approval.
All right.
We are.
All right. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. On to our next new business, item B. Can I get a motion to approve the 2026 cost of living adjustment increase of 35 cents an hour?
I'll make a motion to approve 2026 COLA increases of 35 cents per hour for all full-time employees, increasing each position top of step TOS.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. New business item C, can I get a motion to approve an hourly rate increase of 35 cents an hour?
I make a motion to approve the hourly rate increase of 35 cents per hour for all part-time and seasonal employees. Note, amount equal to statutorily required state minimum wage increase effective 1/1/26.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. New business item D, can I get a motion to approve the city administrator job description responsibility changes?
Make a motion to approve the city administrator job description / responsibility changes to the city administrator / public information officer with the requested budgeted increase of $5 to the top of scale and wage of existing administrator.
Second.
Discussion?
I would just add that the $5 is to the top of scale and then applicable step. I don't know if that's worded that way, so it's $5 to the top of scale and then added to the applicable step for the wage of the current city administrator.
That was my understanding, and if needed to add that, I would certainly add that to the motion.
I don't think it needs to be added. I just wanted to clarify in case it wasn't your understanding.
Yep. And this one also, I believe, was discussed in admin finance. So Gary, JR?
Yes, we discussed it, so Blake, that it's our recommendation that it be approved.
Ditto. Yes, sir.
Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. New business item E. Can I get a motion to approve and authorize the mayor to sign the state financial assistance agreements?
I'll make a motion to approve and authorize the mayor to sign the state financial assistance agreement for project number AP0020-2025 for a portion of the local shares cost of the 2024 pavement maintenance project, $1,400 to come from the Hot Springs Municipal Airport Fuel Tax Account available funds.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. New business item F. Can I get a motion to approve a plat of the Jalapeno tract and Wetzel tract?
Make a motion to approve a plat of the Jalapeno tract and Wetzel tract located in the northeast quarter, southeast quarter of Section 23, and the northwest quarter, southwest quarter of Section 24, Township 7, R5E, BHM, City of Hot Springs, Fall River County, South Dakota, formerly Track M, Track MH-1, less Track A, and Track MH2.
Second.
You did a good job on that one.
Thank you. Discussion?
Yes. Did anybody read that piece of paper that's handed to us?
I did.
Where it says nothing will be built on the section line?
They're going to be using it for a parking lot extension.
Well, they're still going to be building, it said no,
No obstructions.
no landscaping, nothing. They're not going to put gravel on it or anything?
They can come back later and ask to vacate that as well, is what it also said.
We
Why
were
don't they
given legal
clean it up?
guidance today that says the city does not need to make sure the private property owner is not building on a section line. That's the property owner's responsibility.
Who said that?
Our legal counsel.
So, did everybody get a chance to read the memorandum that
Yes.
was included in your packets?
Yes.
To Ariel's response and to Deborah's comment, there isn't anything that prevents the approval of this tract. if you look at property directly adjacent to this one, and you can look at properties throughout the city where section lines, when the city was originally platted or whatever, when the section lines ran through the city, there are properties all over town that are built on section lines. And in this particular case, to the point that Deborah is making, it's going to be a parking lot on top of it. The easement, the 66-foot easement of the section line still takes priority. So digging up a parking lot isn't any different than digging up a city street to get access to one of our city utilities. So there isn't anything that prevents you from approving this tract. And I provided the sections in codified law that speak directly to that. To Ariel's comment from the attorneys that came in late. Last meeting, there were several questions and concerns about an issue regarding section lines. While I was not there and cannot address the questions directly, I see no legal problems with passing the resolution as it relates to section lines. Section lines are a creature of statute, and municipalities have no duty to maintain or preserve them in any way. The only thing that cities can do is approve vacation petitions that are properly brought in accordance with South Dakota codified law. So there isn't anything prohibiting you from approving this particular motion. Any other questions? Misty, would you call the roll, please?
Craig Romey,
Yes.
Linda Varvel,
Yes.
Dave Burris,
Yes.
Randy Graham,
Yes.
Deborah Johnston,
Yes.
Gary Telkamp,
Yes.
Bill Lukens.
Yes.
J.R. Huddleston.
Yes.
Thank you.
The motion passes. On to new business, item G. Can I get a motion to approve and authorize the mayor to sign the agreement with the South Dakota Department of Public Safety Wildland Fire Division for the emergency use of the Mueller Civic Center?
I make a motion to approve and authorize the mayor to sign the agreement with the South Dakota Department of Public Safety Wildland Fire Division for the emergency use of the Mueller Civic Center. This is a 10-year agreement with an automatic renewal for an additional 5 years unless terminated by either party.
Second.
Discussion.
Just one. Say there's some kind of catastrophe and they have to come use this and we have it rented out. What do you do then?
They get it.
And so if it's set up with a bar and stuff like that, there is no repercussions from that, right? You know, for, say, a wedding reception or something.
Yeah, I believe in here it says that they won't get in the way of any scheduled events.
Well, I did read that, but it just didn't make sense to me how you can do both at the same time if they're going to utilize that big room.
They can utilize any area, so there's authorized spaces for use or rent, but if the gymnasium is used. The department agrees to cooperate with the city to appropriately share the space and resources within the facility. The department will adjust its use of the facility as needed to accommodate disaster response and recovery operations. This includes working with the city to allocate space effectively and ensuring that the facility is used in accordance with the disaster relief funds.
It's the same thing I read. I just didn't understand what the process would be if, God forbid, somebody's having a wedding and something bad happens. How does that work?
I'm not sure I know the exact answer to that question, but they have agreed to work with us in the
Okay.
event that happens.
I'm not against it. I'm just asking that question.
It's a good
because-
question.
And for me, what is the bad that happens? I mean, is it a significant event, significant enough event that the entire facility would need to be utilized? In that case, I think even the people that would be renting would understand that we have a huge community emergency that we need to work and accommodate with. So in renting it, they don't automatically get the whole facility, they get enough of it that they need.
Just for clarification was the question.
Sure. Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. New business item H. Can I get a motion to approve and authorize the mayor to sign the agreement with the South Dakota Department of Public Safety Wildland Fire Division for the emergency use of portions of Butler Park?
I make a motion to approve and authorize the mayor to sign the agreement with the South Dakota Department of Public Safety Wildland Fire Division for the emergency use of portions of Butler Park. This is a 10-year agreement with an automatic renewal for an additional 5 years unless terminated by either party.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. On to new business item I. A motion to approve a future supplemental appropriation of approximately $78,000 to the general fund.
Make a motion to approve a future supplemental appropriation of approximately $78,000 to the general fund, highways, streets, roadways, machinery and equipment, 101-43120-43400, for costs to trade in and replace a 2009 CAT compactor little loader.
Second.
Discussion?
This is something that was discussed in admin finance as well, and Billy Morrow was there, and we asked him about the need and what the alternatives were, and we're recommending that we proceed as written.
In talking to Billy today, it sounded to me like it cost just as much to fix the old loader as to buy a new one.
Yeah, we went through all that.
Yeah,
Looks like
there
we
is
made the right decision.
a quote for both the repair and the replacement in here.
I just want to say I appreciate him providing a vendor's quote of repair costs, because it's easy to say, oh, it's going to cost a lot of money, almost as much as a new one.
Well,
But when a vendor provides the actual data that says it's, what, within $5,000 of, or about that, I appreciate them going through the effort to get that, so
And the other
good
thing
job.
is the attachments that they presently have are going to work on this loader
Yeah.
as well. So that's a big plus.
It was a good discussion, admin finance. We recommend the council approve this.
Butler kind of laughed at us for asking for a quote to fix. They knew it was going to be significant, so. But
It's
glad they
well
got us
over
one
1,000 hours over its lifespan, that's for sure. And I would have to say Public Works would recommend that we make this move also.
Yep.
Ariel, thank you for putting together the memo for council to read. Appreciate that. All right, any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. New business item J. Can I get a motion to approve changes to the Class 3 maintenance job description?
Make a motion to approve changes to the Class 3 maintenance job description to include the Class A CDL requirement.
Second.
Discussion? Admin finance, I think this one was in front of you also?
Yes, it was. Reviewed, talked about, and we'll request the council approve.
Anyone else?
We
No, I would have
identified
to
the
say-
need
The
for
only
the
thing I
Class
would
A.
add, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Sorry. We identified the need for the Class A within this job description, as we do have one vehicle that requires it. And we'd like to have more operators who can run it legally and safely, so.
And just as a suggestion, we could actually see if we cannot get approved as a licensing course here in the city, if they're still doing that in the state of South Dakota. It would cut down the cost of doing this, but we would have to have somebody that gets certified through the state for us to do our in-house CDL. Just a suggestion.
Billy has looked into that into the past.
Mhm.
He would consider looking into it again, but back then it just didn't make a lot of sense for us.
Yeah,
It was
years ago it
More
didn't.
work than it was worth. But
Yeah, years ago it didn't, but we're getting to the point where we need these in quite a few positions.
Right.
At the cost of what we're looking at, might be better off to take a good look at that again.
Problem between the difference between a Class A and B is Class A is going to be a lot harder to drive than a B. I mean, 9 times out of 10, they shift different, and it's not an automatic, so.
Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. New business item K. Can I get a motion to approve changes to the travel training repayment for CDLs to include Class A?
I make a motion to approve changes to the travel training repayment for CDLs to include Class A.
Second.
Discussion? Admin and Finance?
Recommend approval.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? The motion passes. New business item L. Can I get a motion to approve the finance officer to transfer up to $35,000 of the 2025 budgeted subsidy?
Make a motion, go ahead.
I make a motion to authorize the finance officer to transfer up to $35,000 of the 2025 budgeted subsidy from the 212 additional sales tax fund to the 621 Evans Plunge Fund as needed to cover 2025 expenses.
Second.
Discussion?
I know I just got done telling you that they didn't need a subsidy, but we did pay the second bond payment, and as I looked at projected expenses for December, I'm erring on the side of caution to ensure that we have enough funds in our cash balance, and I'm only going to transfer what's needed at the end of the year. So I'm expecting around 20,000, but I don't know what kind of claims or bills might come in. As I looked at last year in December, they did a lot of stuff at the end of the year. And when I looked at November of this year, there weren't that many expenses. So I'm just trying to cover us after our $138,000 bond payment this month.
And we did budget over 100,000 for that.
281,000.
Oh, so we're coming in.
Yeah, so this is significantly
substantially
less than we planned.
Right,
but
it is budgeted.
Yes.
Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. New business item M. Can I get a motion to accept an offer of $276 from Stan Nace for the 2025 Southern Hills Golf Course Pine Firewood Pile?
I make a motion to accept the offer of $276 from Stan Nace for the 2025 Southern Hills Golf Course Pine Firewood Pile. 2 other bids of $100 and $269 were received.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. Our last new business, item N. Can I get a motion to approve the municipal operating agreement for a new alcoholic beverage license holder, Dave the Super Food Truck?
Make a motion to approve the municipal operating agreement for new alcoholic beverage license holder Dave the Superfood Truck LLC, doing business as The Bunker, RB.
Second.
I thought he already had this.
Discussion.
That's the license. So in the past, annually, you have reapproved these operating agreements. And as opposed to continuing to do that, because it's a lot for the businesses to get all the signatures required, we now have them just continuing. So the new practice will be all new licenses. When you approve them, we'll approve an operating agreement as well, instead of doing them all up together annually.
Okay.
Will that preclude a very long motion?
Yes, with all the, yes, language of everyone's different licenses, it will.
I still enjoy those.
You do good at those.
Yeah.
Get efficient.
We have to remind you to breathe, though.
Is there anyone here from Dave, the Superfood Truck, that would like to say anything? Anybody from the public? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? The motion passes. On to our committee reports, but before we get into the individual committee reports, at the last meeting council, I'd let you know that I was looking at what to do about the airport planning team and the Southern Hills Golf Course Advisory. And I've added to that the Evans Plunge Advisory Committee. Those three committees are going to go away. When I look at those three committees, they're very specific. They deal with one function, either the airport, the golf course, or the Evans Plunge. And in talking with the supervisors of each of those departments, I'm confident that meeting with them individually and the city administrator and finance officer as necessary, that we can cover the business that needs to be addressed with those three committees. So, Linda, I want to thank you for your last report tonight. Not that it's the last report, but it's the last one that you'll be giving. And I did sit down and had the conversation with Linda also about her thoughts. So we'll try it on. We'll see if it works. If it doesn't, all of these committees are not required by state law. We have some that are. But the rest of them are basically assigned by the sitting mayor. So again, if it doesn't work, we can revisit it. But we've got, I think, better uses for the department heads than attending these meetings on a regular basis. Does that mean we don't want to hear from the public? Absolutely not. Ariel is doing a good job of putting surveys together. I think you've seen from the survey that she put together for the public hearing that she's got a good handle on it. So we want to reach out and hear what the public has to say. But I think working with the department heads directly in these three departments, I'd like to try it on and see if that's a better way to deal with these particular departments. So, having said that, Administrative and Finance, JR and Gary.
Admin and Finance met on met on December 8th, Monday, December 8th, called to order at 1 p.m. Present were J.R. Huddleston, Deb Johnston, Gary Telkamp, Mayor Bob Nelson, City Administrator Ariel Allison, Maintenance Superintendent Billy Morrow, David Peterson, and American Legion writers. The agenda was adopted as written. Communications from the public. Dave Peterson, American Legion writers, requested information from our cemetery on a list of veterans buried to be honored at the flag retirement ceremonies. Dave was directed to the Black Hills National Cemetery website and forwarded information from the State Vets Home website. City will attempt to gather a listing from the Evergreen Cemetery. New business. Number 1, request from American Legion to use the city logo on the challenge coin. Ariel will work with Dave on a design that includes the things they would like to represent without using the official city logo. Discuss that the city logo is a seal of officialness and could come off as the city sponsoring the Legion. Number 2, review proposed wage scale spreadsheet and draft job description changes for retitling city administrator to city administrator public information officer. Discussion on the need for the PIO and added job duties included. The Chamber of Commerce recommends moving forward with the job description update and wage scale increase of $5 effective January 1, 2026 as budgeted. Number 3, review budgetary shortage of $6,408 broken down between 3 funds as follows: 802 and 604, $2,563.20, and 101, $1,281.60. This is due to a grandfathered agreement to pay 50% of family health insurance costs. Recent addition of family members caused an increase to the 2026 budgeted amounts. We'll need future 2026 supplemental appropriation to cover the increase. The committee agrees with the 2026 supplemental appropriation. Nothing that the decisions we make have lasting impacts on future councils. Number 4, review wastewater holding ponds and irrigation lease agreement, ROMIs. Reviewed current agreement, acknowledged upcoming expiration, and changes on hold until council decides to move wastewater treatment plant project forward. Number 5, consider adopting a training and repayment policy for the Class A CDL for the Maintenance 3 policy and job description update. Discussion on the need, costs, and budgetary concerns of 4 employees getting Class A CDLs. Recommended to add Class A to the Maintenance 3 job description and travel training repayment forms. Recommend future supplemental appropriation of $6,800 for 4 employees in 2026. Number 6, wastewater foreman wage increase request. Discuss the request in detail, considering job duties, budgetary concerns, and the committee recommends not approving the request. The committee continues to encourage utility employees to get their certifications for raises. Number 7, request to replace little loader trade-in 2009 Cat compact loader for a new one, $100,000 to $115,000 after trade-in would require supplemental appropriation. Discussion on the warranty, hours, condition, and costs associated with repairs versus replacement. Recommended to replace using a 2026 supplemental appropriation. While speaking for the loader in 2025 after council approval, 12/15, for the 2025 pricing of approximately $78,000 and cost of radio installation at the lowest bid. Staff reports and updates. Mayor had none. Number 2, review monthly finance reports. Note that golf course does not need a subsidy in 2025, and even if they were paying for the water, they still would have turned a profit this year. Kudos given. And committee member comments. Brief discussion on the progress of the Kidney Springs gazebo columns. And next meeting is January 12th, 2026, 1 p.m. here at the Mueller Civic Center. Subject to any questions or comments.
Gary, anything you want to add?
That's all correct, I agree.
Any questions? Thank you, gentlemen. Custer Fall River Regional Waste Management, Craig?
Oh, that'd be me. We meet in January 8th at 6:30. All welcome right here at the Mueller Center.
Thank you. Historic Preservation, Deborah?
Historic Preservation did not meet this month. Our next meeting will be January 7th, 5 p.m. Here at Mueller Center.
Thank you. Evans Plunge Advisory, Linda?
The Evans Plunge Advisory Committee met December 11th at noon, and we adopted the agenda as written. There were no public comments, no old business to tend to. New business, due to the pending rate increases, memberships are on the rise, and we gave out the new phone number for the city administrator. Do you want me to give it out here?
I don't care.
Okay.
It's public.
Okay, 605-890-3451. Staff reports and updates on operations. We are running a punch card special for December. Buy 2, get 1 free.
The front desk needs another employee, and the lifeguard classes will begin by the end of the month. We will be closing December 24th at noon and reopen December 26th, regular hours. Equipment fitness area, the roof leaks are being addressed. Leaves were removed from the plugged roof drains. Swim lessons, classes, and swim team. The swim team is going strong with 28 members making up the team. The review of monthly incidents, a couple of individuals creating misconduct were removed. And I guess I have the next meeting to be January 8th, but I guess that's not going to take place. So, and we adjourned at 12:15.
Any questions for Linda? Thank you, Linda.
Okay, you're welcome.
Parks, Recreation, Beautification, and Cultural Development, Linda, Randy?
You gonna do it?
Yeah.
Me? Okay.
Parks and Recreation, Beautification, and Cultural Development met Wednesday, December 3rd, called to order here at Mueller Center, called to order at 1 p.m. In attendance, Linda Barbell, myself, Caitlin Mossett, Jason Ghosh, Deborah Johnson, Gerald Culligan, Gabby Martin, Chris Katke. Public comments. SHRC plans on removing the volleyball net from the Butler Park soon as it has still been in use. It was also suggested that a park users meeting be held in February to formulate plans for the 2026 season use of the parks. Old business, the Fort Robinson Spiritual Outbreak Run has been postponed for January 2026. Next run scheduled for January 2027. Kidney Springs gazebo repairs are pending. Seven Sisters Point of Interest, Linda recently obtained a new information contact source and will follow up on how much oral history will be shared for the plaque. New business, Ariel Allison, City Administrator, wishes to share her new phone number, 605-890-3451.
We'll get it out there.
Parks and Park reservations. The city has begun to reach out to our long-standing event holders for their 2026 dates to reserve Centennial, Chautauqua Parks, and other picnic shelter areas. Reservation applications are available at the City Hall beginning January 2nd, 2026. Staff reports and updates. Christmas in the Hills is full with 40 to 45 booths. This is the 10th anniversary of the Manger Melodies. Gabby, Winter Rec is in full swing with roller skating, pickleball, and adult volleyball. Caitlin, there are lights in Centennial Park, solar lights in the Welcome Island. Unauthorized signs have been removed from the corner pod areas. Also, there will be one pod available for adoption next summer in front of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Committee comments, none. Next meeting will be January 7th, 2026 at 1 p.m. at the Mueller Center. Adjourned at 1:18 p.m.
Any questions?
I have a comment on reserving a park. I think the people that do that needs to read that over in front of city employees at City Hall so they know what they can and can't do. Because last summer there's quite a controversy over closing the park down, blocking the gates so nobody could get in. Cops called. It was quite a cluster.
Was that Chautauqua you're talking about? Yeah.
I guess it happened twice last year at Chautauqua.
At least twice. Yeah.
Linda, did you have anything you wanted to add?
Well, no, I agree with Craig that people should be made aware that when you're reserving a park shelter area, that it's just the picnic shelter, not the entire park.
Yeah.
You know, for, family reunions, weddings, you can't lock the gates or block them.
Anyone else? Randy, you had mentioned that there's going to be a park users meeting?
Oh, that was suggested in public comments, that an individual thought that it would be a good idea to have all the park users, longtime users get together and hash out who's going to have which dates. But I always thought that it was a first come, first serve thing.
Last year, we talked about and made a list of all the longtime users having, an established long-term dates, getting their first choices. So that was all
Yeah.
figured out last year.
Me and the ladies up front have been reaching out to the individuals on that list, the groups, I should say. I believe there's only one conflict right now that we're asking them to work out first. Everyone else has spoken for their dates.
Okay.
Because other than passing the resolution, nothing else was figured out last
Nothing
year.
else happened. But they're aware that they'll need to pay within the month of January or they lose their date and their spot on the list.
Okay.
So regular reservations open up January 2nd.
Okay. Okay. That was just a suggestion brought forth from a member of the public.
Thank you.
I'm still percolating on that. If they meet as the park users and they agree, amongst their group that they're going to use, this group will get this park, these dates or whatever, do they understand they still need?
I think it's more for Butler Park usage and all the recreational activities that they're talking about, because we don't reserve Butler Park. So I think it's like soccer and softball and baseball and...
They didn't specify which park or for what use.
Because, they can't meet as users and determine who gets to use the places we rent out. We do that at City Hall. So if that is the case, that's a...
Okay. Thank you. Planning and zoning, Deborah?
Planning and zoning will meet this Wednesday, the 17th, 6 PM at City Hall.
Thank you. Safety, Bill, JR?
Safety Committee met on Thursday, December 4th, 1 p.m. here at the Mueller Center. Council members present were JR, myself, Deborah, and Gary. Mayor Nelson was present, as was Chief Norton, City Administrator Ariel, Safety Coordinator Tracy Bastian, Fall River Emergency Manager Dar Coy, Assistant Emergency Manager Gary Baker, and Fall River Health Services Quality and Safety Manager Renee Staley. We had no members of the public present. The agenda was adopted as published. No public comment under old business. The committee discussed possible revisions to the use permit on review portion of Title 15, Chapter 155.004 regarding family daycare providers. The recommended revision has been forwarded to the Planning and Zoning Commission for consideration and action. Old business item 2, the committee reviewed the final versions of the facility use agreements that council passed tonight for the Mueller Center and Butler Park. Item 3, the need for a 2026 deer harvest was continued to be discussed. A survey will be completed by Chief Norton, and I will continue to work with South Dakota Game Fish and Parks representative to obtain guidance regarding next steps. We had no new business under Police Department updates. Officer Del Rosario is at the Law Enforcement Training Academy. The Justice Assistance Grant has been accepted and items have been ordered. And as you approved in under personnel actions, Captain Shively will be resigning effective on or about December 18th, but has requested to stay on as a reserve officer. Of interest, the Special Response Team responded to their first official call out as a team, assisting the U.S. Marshal Service. The PD will, and this is in history, but what Ross says, the PD will be providing traffic control for the Parade of Lights. Added law enforcement presence is likely as it has been reported that the green entity that tried to interrupt the parade last year has bonded out and may be in the area and is expected to cause more problems. Under safety coordinator update, the November safety topic was electrical safety, and the gold safety award from the workers' comp carrier has been awarded to the city. Under committee member comments, the emergency manager informed the committee that the emergency generator project for Hot Brook Canyon, Hot Brook Pump Station and the wastewater treatment facility has moved on to the next step. The school zone lights have been problematic, has been reported many times, and that's been since the recent power outage that was experienced. Chief Norton is working with the city administrator regarding a system upgrade. And before council panics too bad, that's a relatively inexpensive system upgrade. I think he said around $1,200 maybe. Emergency management informed the committee that the LEPC meetings will be moved to start at 11:30 a.m. after the January meeting, so the April meeting will start at 11:30 a.m. There were no reported safety concerns. Our next meeting is scheduled for Thursday, January 8th, 1 p.m. at the Mueller Center, and we adjourned at 1:53 p.m.
JR, anything you want to add?
Nothing, sir. You did good.
Questions?
I got a quick, I ain't trying to be Mr. Shively, if he's going to be a reserve, is he can get a release from a doctor saying it'll be okay for him to do that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And we list our reserves on the January agenda, so you'll see him on that list.
Or as they come on, so we could wait. It was going to be like late September, right?
I think it was.
So we can always add them anytime as they come on, so it's not necessary to get them all on January 1.
And I guess I was under the impression he'd be doing, reserve stuff that is not so physical for the time being.
So light duty.
Like, being at a basketball game or...
And probably mostly exploiting his training ability.
Right.
And I do mean exploiting.
Anyone else? Thank you. Public Works, Dave, Craig?
Next meeting will be on December 30th at 1 p.m. here at the Mueller Center. All public is welcome to attend.
Thank you.
What time does that start?
1 p.m.
City Administrator, Ariel?
Since I updated you last, I have sent our wayfinding application to the state. I have not heard anything back. You heard earlier, we're moving the daycare ordinance revisions from safety to P&Z and then to council. It's expected, if everything goes as planned, that your first reading of that will be February 17th, effective March 25th. I'm working on wrapping up some 2025 stuff and looking forward onto 2026 projects with our department heads. Kidney Springs, I'm working with Billy and Wesley on quotes. We plan to attempt for a Deadwood matching grant for its repair. This Thursday, the 18th, will officially be 1 month as your city administrator. I think it's going well. I appreciate your support. You've heard my number plenty of times tonight, so get a hold of me whenever you need. And that's all I have.
Or they can call City Hall.
True.
Questions for Ariel? Thank you.
You're doing very well up to this point.
Thank you.
Finance Officer report, Misty?
In lieu of a finance officer's report this evening, I'd just simply like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a happy and healthy New Year, and thank you for all your work and dedication this past year.
Thank you.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Mayor's report. I have a couple things for you tonight. One easy, one not so easy. I got something from Feeding South Dakota today, otherwise it would have been in your packets. This is a letter from Feeding South Dakota to Kay Burkholt. Dear partner, this year marks Feeding South Dakota's 50th anniversary, a milestone made possible because of dedicated partners like you. As we acknowledge 5 decades of fighting hunger across the state, we want to express our heartfelt gratitude for the role you've played in this mission. Enclosed is a certificate of appreciation, a small token of our thanks for your 5 years of partnership with us to host a mobile food distribution program. Your support truly makes a difference. As you know, hunger can affect anyone, a neighbor, a coworker, a student in your child's class. It's often situational, caused by a temporary hardship or unexpected crisis. That's why the mobile food distribution program is so vital. It allows us to bring food directly into communities, reaching people where they are with the dignity and compassion they deserve. Thanks to you, we're able to put food on the plates of those who need it most. And thanks to you, every person who turns to us is treated as a neighbor. As we look ahead, we remain committed to ensuring that no one in our state has to wonder where their next meal will come from. Thank you again for being such an important part of this work. We're proud to work alongside you then, now, and into the future. Warm regards, Lori Dykstra, Chief Executive Officer. And the certificate is from Feeding South Dakota, Certificate of Appreciation. This certificate is presented to the City of Hot Springs in recognition of your outstanding dedication and commitment to fighting hunger in South Dakota by hosting a mobile food distribution. 214 families served monthly since 2020. 50 years of Feeding South Dakota. Lori Dykstra, Chief Executive Officer, Feeding South Dakota. And I would like to thank Kay Burkholz and all of the folks that she works so closely with to make this a successful program in South Dakota, or in Hot Springs. So thank you, Kay. That's the easy one. The not so easy one. Council, you all have a copy of what I'm about to read to you. A conversation ensued after the public hearing on Friday night based on what council approved. Jennifer Sietsma with Black Hills Council of Local Governments and Mike Saunders and Jim Jones with AE2S raised a couple questions, a couple concerns regarding the resolutions that were passed. So I'll read. So there were some conversations Friday night, and then there were a number of conversations throughout the day with Mike, Jim, Jennifer, and some folks at the DANR, Department of Agricultural and Natural Resources, specific to the public hearing Friday night. So the result of those conversations, the last conversation we had with those folks, we being Misty, Ariel, and myself, we asked Jennifer to put together a summary of the impact of the decision that was made Friday night. After receiving comments from the public regarding the proposed alternative for the wastewater treatment facility, I just want to verify the council's position on whether they plan to move forward with submitting a funding application to DANR for the January 1st deadline. The application provided by the Black Hills Council of Local Government has been developed using the proposed alternative included in the State Water Plan application submitted October 1st and evaluated in your engineering study. This alternative includes, quote, discharging treated effluent to Fall River, end quote. This alternative does not include discharging to the existing ponds. If the city chooses to change any part of the scope of the project, it will be required to submit a new application to the State Water Plan. Next deadline is February 1st. If you change the scope of your project now, you cannot move forward with a funding application at this time. The city should be informed that the IAJJ, I don't remember the name of that acronym. Misty
The
may.
Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. I looked it up.
The city should be informed that the IAJJ funding, which was approved in 2021 under the previous administration, will expire in 2026. This could have a potential impact to the city's funding award if your project funding application is delayed until 2027. IAJJ has provided for additional subsidy through principal forgiveness loans under DANR's state revolving fund programs. After 2026, it is expected that normal funding levels will resume within state and federal programs subsidized by IAJJ, resulting in less principal forgiveness available for these types of projects. If the city needs additional time to make a decision, you will have additional opportunities to apply in 2026, April 1st, July 1st, October 1st, provided the project alternative you are seeking funding for has been placed on the state water plan prior to those deadlines. Ariel and Misty will keep me on track if I start veering off. The impact of it is that the plan that you approved in the resolution, if we move forward with it, can be considered in the January application. Then we would see what kind of funding we may be approved for. Then the decision would need to be made. Do you want to move forward with that? Or do you want to change the funding request, which would require a new plan, new study, and how the ponds would affect the potential cost of that, which is the most economically favorable plan to move forward with. That is the number one consideration that the state looks at, is what is in what's most economically favorable to the city. Did I misstate anything? I mean, my feeling is we need to move forward with the plan as submitted. If you believe differently, then we would have to decide, you would have to decide whether you want to withdraw the application for the funding that was discussed Friday night.
So if we wanted to move forward with the pond discharge, we would have to get our application in by February 1st, and then we could reapply April 1st? Or do we have to have or we probably have to have another public meeting?
Yes.
And start that whole process over again?
Yes.
We'd have to have another study too.
We'd have to have a whole nother study?
A whole nother study? No. An updated, an amendment to the study to assess the cost and the impact of sending the effluent to the ponds. Part of that, the condition of the ponds would need to be determined. The condition of the distribution line from the wastewater treatment plant to the ponds would be part of that. That all would need to be looked at.
Did you see the most recent response from Jennifer with DANR's answer to the questions that we asked? It's short. I can read it out loud if you would, please. Maybe you can explain what we asked them, or do you want me to, or lead into it and then tell you the question? One of the conversations we had with the engineers and Jennifer from Black Hills Council of Local Governments this afternoon, trying to explore options, was that in a call they had earlier in the day, a representative from the department mentioned the cost-effective requirements with the grant, and how if we submit it as written, they would most likely come back and say, you need to review this alternative of going to your existing lagoons because we need to determine that that's not the most cost-effective alternative, which would allow us then to do the inspections. And the response she received from DANR is this: if the city and AE2S are still comfortable the current alternative is cost-effective, then it can be signed. AE2S should be looking at and evaluating the other alternatives through an addendum. Having it done in advance of the funding award would be beneficial, but I think it could happen after the award, but would need to be before we can do an environmental review for sure. So I think that's kind of the answer we were looking for, so that we could move forward before the January deadline, but still have the review of the distribution to the ponds considered. And if that is a more cost-effective approach, then it's one we'll be able to take at that time without delaying the application. I believe that's kind of the answer we were looking for, so it sounds positive.
And they give out the most funding in that first quarter of disbursement.
And we had talked about that. That was the reason for not the rush, but the coordinating to get this public hearing done and to get council's decision on do you want to move forward with the funding, is so that our application is there on January 1st to be considered with everybody else's, and our best chance at getting funding. So as we move that date back, then you don't know what the funding may or may not be at that point. And if we move beyond 2026, that IAJJ funding, which was approved in 2021 under the previous administration, will expire in 2026.
And that's a lot of loan forgiveness, and we don't want to miss out on the opportunity for that.
And how do we go about requesting or asking AE2S to do that extra study? What's that going to cost us? How do, what do we?
We don't know the cost yet, and we don't have to ask. They know we want it, and DANR just confirmed they're going to require it.
Excellent. Good.
So we can.
But there will most likely be an additional cost.
AE2S did confirm that the work that we hired them to do to put together the wastewater treatment plant facility plan, they've met the obligations of that. Their last obligation for that was to attend the public hearing. So any work that they're going to be doing beyond that will be at a cost. And do we know what that cost is tonight? No.
We can take it out of the money we didn't have to spend for the Evans plunge.
Well, actually, it has to come out of the wastewater fund, but.
But given what the cost of the study was, which was like $54,800 to do and there was a lot went into the facility plan.
Yeah.
So for this minor part.
The estimate for the testing, if required, is $100,000.
Oh, really, for the
ponds, if they require us. They don't know how many sites they'll require us to test from. All that's still up in the air, but I don't want you to think it's going to be very minimal.
Thank you for that clarification.
It may be significant, but I think we heard that.
They're 40 years old, so they're going to have to want them tested.
Our public works director doesn't have a big concern with it has a bentonite liner, which can last for long time. It's a natural water permeable barrier. So he's not concerned, but they may require us to do some testing and not just take a visual for it.
But that situation is an addendum to what we're moving forward with, right?
Yep, and one of the things that'll be evaluated if there is some kind of issue with it is whether or not any needed improvements could be wrapped into the project costs. Probably not if we don't own them, but we'll figure all that out.
No matter what, we go forward with what we're going to go forward with, but the study's going to cost the city a lot more money. Theoretically.
Some more, maybe not that much more for their part, maybe some more for the testing.
we are at a point where it would be ignorant to stop. We need to press forward with the investment of time and money that we have already and the situation that we're sitting in right now.
And at least get it turned into the state to see what we get.
Get on the list and then get on the list, get that addendum done and get that submitted. The addendum's not necessary, what you said, to be put on the list with this application.
Yeah, they said having it done in advance of the funding award would be beneficial, so there would still be a timeline as they look at them for awards, January to March. You'll know your award in March, so.
Okay, thank you.
And we already voted yes to do that part.
Right.
So,
Okay. Great update. Thank you.
So let's move forward.
There's always glitches. We will prevail.
I love your roll with an attitude. I could use some of that sometimes.
All right.
Well,
So
did
it's-
E2S not consider the distribution to the ponds as an alternative when they
Nope.
started the whole thing?
No, I'm pretty confident I said 4 or 5 times during the hearing to that direct question. It was asked, well, why wasn't it? And through Public Works. And I still believe this, and I'm going to take a hit for it, I acknowledge that. These ponds and the distribution line are 40 years old. They may be in good shape, maybe they're not, but they're going to do nothing but get older and older and older. So to say that we would remove the option, another discharge point option, I don't believe is in the best interest of the city.
No, it is not.
20 years down the road, if they fail and we're not able to discharge somewhere else, where do we discharge? So I believe we need to have 2 options available to us, but the plan doesn't allow that. It specifically said Fall River. So I'll take the hit for it, but it's because I believe it's in the best interest of the city to own the whole process. And in owning the ponds, there may be additional costs. That just, I don't know how to answer that any more directly than to say, if you're looking for somebody to blame, I'm the guy. Blame me for it.
No, I'll take part of that. I'll take part of that because we just discussed earlier in the meeting, a good example is the little loader. We just took a good look at everything that was on the table. Now, we're going to invest this kind of money and not have a second option? That'd be totally ignorant. You can't invest everything on one thing, especially if it's as old as the ponds right now. I have no problem with the study. I have no problems with that. But we do need a second option. We can't shut down the sewer plant if we're going to the ponds and God forbid something disastrous was to happen. What do? You have to have that second option. Otherwise, the investment we're making right now is just stupid to make. Let's just roll the dice and go with what we have. So I say we move forward, but we have to have a second option.
Get the application in, get our name on the list.
I was part of Public Works too. It started before Dave and I got on there, but I agree that there needs to be 2 options. Me was going to Cheyenne, not Fall River, but there has to have at least 2 options on what we're going to do with that.
They were very clear with us this afternoon that the project needs to be specific in order to be considered. They're not going to consider 2 options for us.
Well, there's 2 options on the table right now.
We had to pick one, and we picked Fall River.
Okay, I see.
That's why we need an addendum.
But for what they are saying, cost efficiency wise, and I understand this
They'll
totally.
evaluate that.
But cost efficient, that is making that second discharge. So we have to choose. And what it sounds like is basically they're going to come back to us and say, no, it isn't,
or yes,
or it is. Either way, we have to move forward with the sewer plant. it doesn't really matter. We don't have a choice in that part.
Good summary.
The other night, my wife and I went down to Dairy Queen to get something, and we went by Dave's, mobile coffee thing. It stunk so bad, sulfur-wise, from the sewer plant, clear up there, that Debbie flat asked me if I farted. I said, no, I did not.
Any questions?
Nope. Thank you for the update.
So it's my understanding then that we want to continue with the funding application,
Yes.
see where that gets us, and talk with the AE2S and see what the state says about, officially says. The email sounds positive that, okay. All right. That's all I have for you, unless you have questions for me.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. Have a good evening, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you all.